Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Meteorologist Andrew Stutzke here with you. We're going to allow folks a couple of minutes to kind of pile into the chat. For some reason, my webcam isn't working, but you know what? That's okay. We don't always need to see my face. You can hear my voice. You know I'm here. We're going to talk about some snow that's coming up here in just a moment. But let's give folks a couple of minutes to kind of come into the chat here. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments section, because sometimes the audio's a little wonky. You're not going to be able to see me. My webcam for some reason isn't working today, but that's okay. Not required to do what we're going to do here, and that is talk about some snow. Who is excited? Who is ready? We're not talking about a lot of snow, by the way. This is just going to be, for most cases, enough to coat the ground, cause a couple of slick spots on the road, that kind of stuff. I hope everybody had a Thanksgiving. I see Seth is in the chat this morning. Good morning, Seth. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving as well. Mine was good. Table was a little lighter this year because everybody has gotten this cold. There is just a nasty kind of a cold flu combo going around. There's COVID going around again. So a couple of my family members were absent this year, but that's okay. That's all right. Hopefully you guys haven't gotten the cold yet. I think I'm on week 4, and I'm still got a little bit of a cough. But for the most part, the nastier symptoms have wrapped up. But, oof, I did notice, though, I went shopping last night for a little bit, and a lot more people are out wearing the masks. So that tells you there's definitely something going around in the air for sure. We'll give folks just one more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll start. But I hope everybody's had a good weekend so far. A little chilly out there, but less wind today is going to make that a lot more comfortable. Shouldn't be too bad compared to what it felt like yesterday with that wind, which was just kind of downright nasty. It made wind chills in the teens and the 20s for a good chunk of the day. So a little bit better today, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We are so ready for that. All right, it looks like folks can hear me. I think we got some good numbers coming in right now. Good friend Corey Marshall in the chat this morning, too. Maybe some snow owls out this morning. That'd be beautiful. Did you guys see the lunar halo last night, too, by the way? That ring around the moon in the sky? That was pretty cool. We had a lot of you submit your pictures on the News 8 app and the Storm Track 8 app. If you go to WQAD.com, just search lunar moon. You'll see why that forms. But it was gorgeous. Thank you, everybody, for sending in your pictures. We love showing those off during the morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about, of course, the snow coming in for late tonight into tomorrow, some of the impacts that we're going to expect, how much snow we're going to see, and what it's going to do, of course, to our temperatures after the snow stops. So let's start with what's going on right now. A fairly decent morning so far. If you're out doing a little shopping, it's Small Business Saturday. Don't forget about our small businesses. They got some really, really neat stuff at a lot of our small businesses around here in the Quad Cities and our smaller towns, too. Don't forget about them. So quiet, that's the theme right now. Nothing too exciting. On the radar, there are a couple of light snow showers out there. Most of this is not reaching the ground. There is a lot of dry air that this is having to overcome. But still, don't be surprised if you see a little snow shower or snow flurry this morning. That's not the main event. That's just a little teaser, trying to get some more moisture here into the region. This is the main event here. Low pressure well to the southwest, and it's got quite a bit of snow with it right now. That's why you've got winter storm warnings throughout parts of Kansas, northern Oklahoma. It's this band of snow that arrives here later tonight. And then there's another band behind it here throughout New Mexico that kind of joins forces, also comes in here late tonight, and that's what's going to drive our chance for some accumulation. Getting a little closer, though, on the super high-res Doppler. Yeah, a little more snow flurry action starting to fill in south of Interstate 80. That's lifting to the north, but again, this is not going to be the sticking stuff. There you see how this storm kind of evolves. What a mess from Wichita to Kansas City. So if you need to travel in that direction later this afternoon into tonight, that will be some impactful travel. We're talking about snow-covered roads. They're expecting at least a few to perhaps as much as several inches of snow down well to our southwest. By the time the storm system gets here, it's going to be losing a little bit more of its bite. We're still going to have some snow, but we're not expecting the real heavy stuff like they're seeing well to the southwest of us. And there you see that timing still brings it in here just after midnight tonight, going into much of tomorrow morning. Will there be some impacts at the airport? I don't think there's going to be a ton. of impacts. May have a few delays. I don't think we're looking at massive cancellations, though, whether it's here in the Quad Cities, Peoria, Rockford, Chicago. A couple of delays expected, but again, not going to see massive cancellations because we're not talking about huge amounts of snow. We're talking about light snow with a little bit of an impact on the travel. There's the end of the snow. Still planning on that being here by noon. So here's what's going on right now in terms of the winter storm watches, the winter storm warnings, and the advisories. We're under a winter weather advisory. Meanwhile, we have a winter storm warning for much of Kansas, just southwest of Kansas City. Now, the reason we have a winter weather advisory here is two things. It's not because we're going to get a ton of snow. It's because we're going to get a light amount of snow, and it's the first one of the year that's going to cause some slick roads. Not to mention it's the it's the weekend that is the biggest travel weekend of the year. It's this weekend. So that's why the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a winter weather advisory for us in the Quad Cities. Could we see this extended to the north and east to include northern Illinois, including Chicago? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that perhaps in the afternoon forecast package update between 1 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll see what happens, but for right now, that's where it's included. It's Interstate 80 South, excluding Bureau County. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they extend that to the northeast a little bit later, just because it's our first go at sticking snow that's going to hit the roads. So there's when it starts. It's midnight tonight through noon tomorrow, and then we'll end that because I think tomorrow afternoon most of this is going to melt away. But we're expecting in most cases 1 inch. There's going to be some isolated 2-inch amounts, and this is going to impact bridges and overpasses first, and then it's going to start to impact untreated roads. And we're talking about a wet, heavy snow. It's not going to be the light, fluffy, blowing all around kind of snow, and we're not going to have much wind with this anyway, but it's the heavy, wet stuff that we're looking at. So let's put future track into motion, kind of remind you when the snow is going to start. We're talking about late tonight. So today, other than a couple of flurries, snow showers, that's it. We're dry. Into tonight, that's when things will really start to pick up, especially after 9 o'clock. We start to get the initial batch of snow in here, and then it really solidifies into a pretty good line from southwest to northeast, and the bulk of that steadier snow is on the Illinois side of the river, stretching from Burlington up through Galesburg, Princeton, Geneseo, Kewanee, Sterling Rock Falls, into the Dixon area, just west of Interstate 39. Some good banding going on here during the 4 o'clock hour. 5, 6 a.m. tomorrow, I think the heavier band starts to shift a little further east, and then we're talking snow showers for the majority of tomorrow morning, and all of that coming to an end by the noon hour. So this is a morning thing for tomorrow. Snowfall amounts, this is the latest from our in-house future track model. There you see most of us an inch, a couple of higher end 2-inch amounts as you go in toward the Sauk Valley in points east of the Quad Cities. But again, it's not the snow that we care too much about the amount, it's the impact that it's going to have. Let's break down that impact hour by hour. So we expect the snow to start just around midnight or so, coming to an end around noon tomorrow. The impact there you see is a minor impact from 4 in the morning up until about 10 in the morning. I have a feeling by then crews are going to have a firm grip on the situation. I'll have everything salted, ready to go. And then by noon, that comes to an end, and then we start the melting process. The thing to remember with the roads, even though we've had some warmer weather, we've been kind of cold the last few days, including highs only in the 30s yesterday and the 40s the day before. So the road pavement temperatures are cold enough to support snow sticking to them, especially if they're not treated with salt beforehand or some kind of liquid solution, if you will. So that's why we're going to start to see some impacts from the snow today. It's all thanks to the colder weather that we've had here recently. Here's how things are going to look. I like this visual example because it shows you exactly the kind of impact we're expecting. This is a low impact. It's not really in the moderate category like the picture you're seeing there, where you're going to have a few inches of snow on the pavement. This is going to be a very light coating of snow on the pavement itself. It's not going to bring traffic to a standstill, but you are going to have to slow down. In a few cases, that is especially true. So just a reminder, if you do need to travel late tonight into tomorrow, a couple of things to keep in mind. This is our first tango with winter driving weather for the year, if you will, for the season. Here's a couple of reminders. You increase your following distance. You drive in the clearer lane, the one that's plowed. In most cases, it's in the right-hand lane, the passing lane if it's not plowed, and you're going to attempt to pass somebody, you use some extra caution. You don't run through the passing lane like a bat out of you-know-what, because that's how most people end up in the ditch. Take it slow. A gentle pass. No need to put the person in the right-hand lane in your snow dust, if you will. Don't use the cruise control. That's a good tip, because when you use the cruise control, you're not getting direct feedback from your tires in terms of when you're accelerating with your foot pedal. So avoid using that if possible, and then steer and brake smoothly. Don't make any sudden big movements. Gradual, slow, and steady movements is what you want. That will keep you and your vehicle on the road. So we'll see how things go. Again, I don't think we're going to see huge problems from this, but I wanted to put this out there just because it's our first go at some snow that's actually going to stick to the pavement. As always, we're on top of this thing, both on air, online at WQAD.com, and the News 8 app, Storm Track 8 app. Good apps to have. If you have those and you're not under the advisory right now, you'll be the first to be notified when the advisory gets expanded, if it does. As I mentioned oftentimes on the Storm Track 8 app, I get warnings on that first before our graphics system does here in the Weather Center. It's only a few seconds difference, but still, it's really cool, the fact that I get the first warning on our app versus our multi-$1,000 computer system that's here in the studio. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're going throughout the weekend. I want to take you into early next week because, the snow is going to bring some cold with it. We're going to go back down into the low 30s Monday into Tuesday. But there's some decent warmth coming up as we go into later next week. So warm, in fact, that we're going to have a chance for rain on Friday, and temperatures are going to start touching toward the 50-degree mark. Don't forget, we have our Toys for Tots drive on Tuesday. I just went to that Save Big Money store last night. They got some great deals on some of the kids' toys. Very inexpensive, but they're really nice toys. And I picked up a few of those for our tour drive on Tuesday. The need is especially great this year, as it has been ever since COVID hit. So if you can spare a couple of bucks and you can donate a new unwrapped toy, we'll take it here at our studios all day on Tuesday. We are so looking forward to that day. Going to be a great day. So I'm going to check out the comment section really quickly here. I'm going to put the snowfall map back up so you guys can see how much you're expecting. That's usually the number one question we get at these things, is how much snow is my hometown expecting here? And that's what I've got for you and how things are trending right now. So let's check out, see if anybody has any questions I can answer. Dusty, good morning to you. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Tony. Dixon, we're expecting that snow after the midnight hour, and it'll wrap up just after the noon hour for you. Closer to 2 inches, I think, for Dixon is a good bet. You're kind of in that heavier band that comes in two waves. You get the steadier one about 4 to 6 a.m., and then there's another steady one that comes in around 9 a.m. So that's the timing for you. Some slick spots on the road, definitely likely. If you haven't put your snow brush in the car and you don't have a garage, I suggest you get that in your car this afternoon. Crystal has to fly out on Wednesday to Kentucky. You'll be fine. We're not expecting anything on Wednesday here. Late Sunday afternoon, Tammy, I think roads will be in good shape because temperatures rise above freezing Sunday afternoon. This will be melting for the most part. Donna is dreading winter. Oh, the good news is you should go check out my Super El Nino article on our website, because typically in this kind of an El Nino pattern, snow is not a big thing during the winter. But there's a couple things that could change that, and I posted that in that article. Check it out. Just go to the Ask Andrew tab on the weather page, and you'll be able to see that Super El Nino discussion about our upcoming winter. With that, I think that's it. We have got all of our questions answered. So again, delays, cancellations in terms of the airports, I don't think there's going to be a ton. It's not a lot of snow. Maybe a few delays here and there, but look at Chicago, only about an inch. Quad City's only an inch here. Peoria, less than an inch. Your bigger airports there. So not expecting a ton, but again, this is going to be something, if you are hitting the roads tomorrow morning, that's where we're going to have a couple of issues. And meteorologist Morgan Streckbein, she'll be back in tomorrow morning tracking this live for you. Don't forget, we have all of our hometown camera networks that we have. Pretty good views of what's going on for most of our major roads, and we've got also some interstate cameras as well that we use. Justin's asking, do you think the plows are going to have to come out? I don't think they're going to have to plow, but they are going to have to salt. So you will be seeing those come out tomorrow. Don't wash your car today, by the way. It's not worth it. They're going to be salting all over the place. In fact, I've noticed they've already applied the liquid solution to the bridges around here, so it's not worth it to be salting or to be getting your car wash out. Let's zoom out. Some of you are asking what the snow is going to be doing in terms of going southwest of here. Let's go back to here. Alyssa's wondering, driving back from Missouri tomorrow, how will the roads be? You're going to be fine, because by tomorrow, especially if you're traveling and starting in Missouri first, notice tomorrow morning, the snow is already out of there. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. The snow is actually getting out of much of Missouri and ending. And we're expecting temperatures above freezing. So depending on what time you leave tomorrow morning, that's the big question. If you're leaving early in the morning from Missouri and then coming up through here, a little bit of a problem. But if you hold off until the late morning into the afternoon, I think you're going to have a better chance of seeing some better road conditions. So that's my advice to you, Alyssa. If you're driving back tomorrow, wait late in the morning, early in the afternoon, roads should be fine. Again, we're expecting most of this to melt around here during the afternoon as temperatures go back above freezing. For you, ooh, I'm getting some stereo. Let's see. And I think that's it. I think we got them all. I don't know about a blizzard, Amy. We'll see. You can still have a blizzard in El Nino. It doesn't mean that we're not going to see a big winter storm or a big blizzard or a big ice storm. It just means in general that our total winter snowfall will be less. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have a big winter storm. We definitely see those in an El Nino pattern. It just means when you tally all the snow for the winter as a whole, it's usually going to be less than what we see on average for the total. All right, guys, we're all caught up. I'm going to get some breakfast before we go start News 8 at GMQC at 9, that is. So we'll see you then. Got some cool more moon halo pictures to talk about. And, of course, we'll be tracking this winter storm as well. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you being here on the live. We're still working on our podcast studio here. I hope to make this a more regular thing once we get that studio up and running, kind of on a weekly basis. But until then, we'll make do with what we've got here. I wish you guys a very, very good and nice, safe rest of your Saturday, the rest of your weekend too. And I'll see you guys back here at 9 o'clock.